Hello and welcome to the Christmas special of Chat It Out. I'm Egg, your Tribune. Say hello. That's Polo. That's Polo. Anyway, and welcome to this maiden special, Christmas special edition of Chat It Out. And today we're going to talk about, you'll never guess what, Christmas. It got asked earlier what you're going to be talking about all over the TV Random universe, and we said, well, obviously, Christmas specials could be about Christmas. Anyway, I'm just going to knock out the question, what does Christmas mean to you guys? Well, what you're thinking about it, briefly, to me, it just means time to spend it with your closest family, food, opening presents. This might sound really bad, but for me, this is what it means personally to me. Opening presents with people around you, food, having Christmas songs in the background. I always spend about 2 minutes when no one's listening, and I always think for about 2 minutes, I always go, oh, those poor people that are probably living in the street and have got a really crap Christmas, but you know.
But I've got pigs in blankets.
Yeah. And now, time for mealy! And Christmas has to have mealy pudding in. Christmas without mealy just is a
Christmas
sin.
is about your nearest and dearest, I think.
Yeah. It's
Overindulging
Christmas songs,
yourself and
getting drunk.
yeah.
What's Christmas mean to you?
Time of the year where you can be a big kid again.
I think so.
Christmas means watching the Potters.
Watching the Potters. For me, I have to watch. I haven't done it yet, but I have to watch Muppet Christmas Carol. Home Alone, obviously. That goes without saying.
Die Hard.
Well, Die Hard, I don't really consider
That's
that.
Die Hard. Obviously, it's Christmassy.
Do you?
Always
Jurassic
watch
Park's always on at Christmas.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the original.
Yeah, but I don't rush to watch it for some reason. Even though I would agree it's a Christmas type film.
And possibly
Potters have became
The
Christmas for some
Snowman.
reason. Yeah, briefly. I tell you what, I did do last year actually with a friend of mine. What's the that's it, flunky. Garfield, the Garfield Christmas special. That is amazing. If anyone knows what I'm on about, the Garfield cartoon Christmas special from
the
12
live
years
action
ago.
one you're about.
No, I'm on about like 20 years ago. The proper Garfield, not the modern twist made up one. Thunderbirds, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, for me, Christmas is just a real nice where you can just let your hair down, spend it with, you know, close family. I always try and text my closest eggs. I think about everybody. It sounds really cheesy, really, doesn't it? But I don't know. Christmas is just that time where you can just be like, life's good, regardless.
Yeah.
What happens before or after?
The last sort of reflection before the new year starts, and you know, sort of just it's a case of, well, that year's been and gone. Might as well enjoy what's left of it, because you know, in a few days it'll be the new year, new start. You know, fresh perspective. It's sort of the last time to sort of let loose almost, and not worry about the consequences.
Yeah. And I don't think it's just the one day we just think, let's just enjoy eating too much food and drinking too much.
It's not just Christmas Day, is it?
Well, it's the build-up as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Christmas just goes on for, you know,
a month, isn't it?
month and a half.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
not like birthdays where it's just like one day, or Halloween where it's one night.
No, that's
Pretty
true.
much starts after bonfire.
Yeah, for me,
really, yeah.
like, Christmas is a whole lot of little events. Like, every year I always have to take Mum to Blooms and have some cake and an Andy. Done that already. Look at all the Christmas trees. I have a bit of a connection to Home Alone on that one. I always like to look at all the Christmas decks when you see them go up in town. If I can be bothered, go to Johto's, look at all the little soldiers. Think about what I can get people. The buying of the presents, I suppose, is a big part for most of us. Watching wages leaking out your bank account.
Yep.
I don't know. I love Christmas.
That's the one thing about Christmas I can't say I don't like, but it's a bit sort of like annoying. Is the whole like worrying about what you're going to get people,
Whether they're gonna like it.
the whole present, the whole like wrapping, paper, the tags, the little bows you put on, blah blah, all for in the morning for it all to just get ripped
Ripped
open
off,
and thrown
yeah.
away.
I don't mind
lasts
that.
for
'Cause
like 10
I must
minutes.
admit,
just the whole,
I feel a bit guilty because when I was younger, I used to get really like my presents, and didn't really. I felt a bit guilty because I wanted to open my presents. I didn't really care about other people's, but that sounds really bad, doesn't it? But as I've got older, especially the last sort of 2 or 3 years, I get a real buzz out of like, say like when I go around Mum's Day and brother and sisters open up the stuff I've gave them and just seeing their face before they even say anything. And
so yeah,
I'm quite
when,
good at
when,
getting
when you
people
get
presents.
older, you do sort of take into account the old giving and receiving.
Yeah.
'Cause when you were younger, it was just receiving.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Where nowadays I do quite enjoy watching people opening the presents, and you know, I like doing that, and especially when you got little kids around, you see them running around and opening presents, and so that's what I'm looking forward to this year.
I don't know, it's weird because obviously for so many years at Christmas I was working, so it's nice sometimes to not.
You said that, but you've been not working Christmas for
Yeah,
quite
but-
a few years now.
Yeah, but still, like, for working so many years of working at Christmas, it's sort of almost lost its, it's a happy appeal. Certainly in the last year or two that it's sort of become more, that Christmas sort of cheers sort of come back, because previously, you'd be at work till, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock, say, and sort of the whole sort of idea of Christmas had just sort of disappeared then, because by the time you'd finished work, everyone was sort of having their afternoon kit before turkey sandwiches and watching the Christmas film, so it sort of Christmas sort of lost that magic, so to speak, for me. But yeah, like you said, obviously with new jobs and stuff, and stuff changing, in the last few years it's sort of perked back up again, so it's sort of nice to recapture that magic, I think.
What if it was your best ever Christmas?
As a kid, before my sisters were about, I remember, like, in our living room, the entire living room was basically mine, full of presents, I think. And I had like a tent, because I was big into Marvel, a big Marvel tent. I was full of presents and stuff. And then I imagine as I grew up, they steadily got lesser and lesser. And I had a sofa cushion rather than the entire room.
Yeah,
But
that was a bit like
I
that.
suppose I don't know, as you grew up though, I suppose you wanted bigger stuff and
I suppose
more
it
expensive stuff.
loses its mystery a little
Yeah.
bit, because you had the whole mystery of Santa, and
Those times exist.
just
It
of course he
just
does.
exists.
Santa still exists. I know him personally. We quite often go spoonies on a Friday night. Polo, what was your best Christmas of all time? Do you remember that time when we used to do little plays for your
Yeah,
mum
I've
and
not really got.
Remember
I
that?
mean, when you were younger, you had like the whole going to bed and not worrying that can you fall asleep? Is Santa going to see me still awake? And then getting up and you had like obviously it's you had was it like 3 weeks holiday or something from school?
Yeah, 2 or
It's
3
like
weeks.
2-3
Oh.
weeks holiday.
Two.
There's only 3 weeks in your case.
Huh?
So it's only 3 weeks in your case.
Yeah. And then but as you get older, you sort of I feel you appreciate it more. When you were a kid, it was just the presents
Yeah.
and Santa.
Yeah.
Whereas in
When now it's more the symbolic of being
family,
with family and
yeah.
eating
Yeah.
together, and yeah.
Yeah, for modern takes, I'd say one of the better Christmases was being around with my gran, who's no longer about.
Yeah.
So like having to spend a few Christmas with her, considering she's like 120, 130 miles away.
Oh, that's
So as an
cool.
adult's quite, thingy.
And actually, and like when you were younger, you didn't really. When you were a kid, you didn't buy presents for people. You didn't go into town and go shopping like your dad or mum would say, "Oh, your mum wants this for Christmas. Do you want to give it her?" Blah blah blah. blah.
Yeah.
Whereas now, it feels nice to actually be
Yeah.
able to like work and actually go out and buy somebody something.
I must admit, I do quite enjoy thinking, what can I get her and what can I get him, and
It was when you were younger, you had it all brought for you.
yeah, it was just like, oh, okay, yeah.
Hmm.
I must admit, for me personally, my last, for different reasons, my last 2 or 3 Christmases have been really, really good. Like, I think a couple of years ago, I spent my first ever Christmas I can remember with my dad, for instance, and that was real sentimental to me, because I don't really remember seeing my dad at Christmas. So for me, that was really symbolic. But I think my best Christmases that level to that were when I was a kid, because I think my mum used to go partying Christmas Eve, because I don't remember on Christmas Eve. But I just remember being at Gar's and Nangar telling me that Santa was coming and all the rest of it, and then I'd wake up and there'd be some presents at the bottom of the bed, and then I'd go downstairs and there'd be, like you were saying, a whole room of presents, and obviously as I got brothers and sisters I spent it with them, and gradually getting less. But those best ones, those early ones, I remember like getting the Atari and getting the Sega, they were the things that stuck in mind, and then my dad buying them a pool table and stuff later on. But I must admit, for me personally, for what we were saying earlier about appreciating more and buying for other people, the last 2 or 3 Christmases I've really, really enjoyed, for different reasons that would take too long to go into, but for different reasons, because I've spent it with different people that I'd never spent it with before.
Yeah, it's not become stale.
Yeah, like every year I try to do something different. Like
Yeah.
this year I'm going down south for the first time ever, and when it's with
It was like the
my
whole
girlfriends and stuff like that.
getting up early as well. Like stupid, like 7 o'clock, and you'd find like a stocking full at the bottom of your like bed.
Yeah.
You'd like, oh, maybe I can just open one before mum and dad get up. So you'd open like one, then you'd run into their bedroom, wake them up, and blah blah.
Give them a quick dough.
Yeah, open up your stocking. Then you go downstairs, and there'd be like loads of presents, like the big presents, which were from like your mum, dad, aunties, uncle, grandparents, brothers, sisters.
Oh, I don't know. I always had the worst, because obviously we're quite a religious family. It was always, you can look at the presents and have your breakfast because we're going to church. I was like, oh, boring. So you had to go there.
I'll tell you what, in a weird way, I've done, because obviously
So that's why as we got older I always preferred midnight mass, because it was, you've still done your church part, but you get presents in the morning.
yeah, I sort of,
I quite like midnight mass anyway though, because it's just, I don't know, it's more
no, it's
sort of
cool.
romantic, I'd say.
I mean, our family was like religious, but in a weird way I sort of like, I don't know if I could be asked to spend hours there, but I sort of like, always thought it'd be quite nice one year to maybe spend a morning, an hour or two in a church, because it almost feels like that should be part of Christmas, even though it's never been part of mine, if that makes sense. I suppose it'd be quite similar, aren't they, I suppose?
Yeah.
I used to like it sometimes after Christmas, so you'd go for the walk in a town when it was like dead.
Yeah.
That's always quite nice, just have a quick pond.
Well, yeah, or if you've just had like your Christmas dinner,
just go walk it off, yeah. Before
It's
getting
like-
back for the afternoon kid watching the Christmas film before.
In a weird way, I've always wanted to spend
Before
my
you
uncle's,
have,
because
like-
he lives out in the country. I always
And the
found that
next
cool.
day for lunch you'll have like leftover turkey
Yeah.
sandwiches or bubble and squeak. You know, I don't like that. But
Oh yeah, that. Do you know? Random fact for you before we close off.
Fizz.
Bubble and Squeak was the first meal in history to ever stop my nanny portion. It was the first meal that actually stopped me while I couldn't eat it all. But anyway. So anyway, thank you for that. I think that was a great discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please feel free to comment or like or subscribe or blah blah blah, or give your views on what you feel Christmas means to you. If it's religious, fair enough. If it isn't, fair enough. If it's just about family, fair enough. If you hate it and you're bar humbug, then you're valid to your opinion. I can't change it, as John Cena quite rightly said the other night. Anyway, from us and everyone at TV Random and to all the TV Random universe, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a... Come on, guys.
Christmas.
And a Happy New Year. See you guys. I see you.
Bye.